Hi there. Thanks for staying with us here on Prime On, and it's time for us to get into News Flash. It's proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, still phones Papa Pathie. And this morning we're saying that go into any of our branches and make a purchase. We're giving you the very best of gadgets, affordable as well. Call us on the numbers you see on your screens and make a purchase. You can get your phones, you can get your Nokia, Samsung, iPhones over there. And if you're looking for televisions, you can get the best of televisions from there. And the biggest screens you can also get once you walk into Franco Trading Enterprise. Don't forget, we also have some microwaves, CCTV cameras, and also refrigerators that we're selling that you can only come to Franco Trading Enterprise and get the very best for yourself. If you are making your way there right now this morning, trust me, there's best that we've got for you. And so be in a hurry and just go grab your gadgets from Franco Trading Enterprise. Call us on the numbers you see on your screens, and again, do not call any other number apart from the ones that you see on your screens to do business with us. Franco Trading Enterprise says still phones Papa Pathie, and you can download the app. It's Google Play Store. Franco Trading the app on Google Play Store, and the website is www.francotrading.com, and that's where you can also get all the updates that you need when it comes to Franco Trading Enterprise. This morning we're here. We're going to be getting into the front page of the various newspapers as always to check out what has been reported. My guests are seated, and we'll get into the substantive issue. We want to dedicate time for the Galamsey issue today here on the show. Now, yesterday at the vet, and some of these issues came up, and remember that we had foreign nationals that were hoping that they were going to be prosecuted over here in the country, but the Interior Minister says that they're supposed to be actually repatriated. Now, that issue has also come up. There's been a statement that's been issued. We'll look at that also here on the show. So yes, you can send your messages ahead of time. We're streaming live on Facebook. It's Joy Prime, and when you go on there, you can get us in real time and also post your messages over there. Our WhatsApp line is active as well, so you can also go there and be a part of our conversations. Now, quickly, let me check the front pages of the various newspapers, and then I introduce my guest this morning here on the show, and we'll move on to the major issues. Ghanaian Times is here, and this morning it says that give career magistrates opportunity to upgrade at law school. Justice Bright Mensah yesterday was at a vetting committee to answer some questions from the committee, and he's also been talking about many things. I mean, many other things, LGBT, for civil criminal cases, and how they can better the justice, or the Supreme Court's rulings and all of that. They all came up during the vetting committee. So if you've been following, he's been talking about magistrates getting opportunity to upgrade at law school. Now, at Ghana EU Partnership Dialogue, you have over the Reform Global Order to ensure equity in security financial frameworks. President Mahama says so. And Sunyani Traditional Council bans Queen Mother from public activities. And remember that in a couple of days, about 3 days ago, she installed a new chief, and that's where the situation is going now. They've had that conflict for the longest time, and we're hoping that this can be resolved now. According to the story, she's been banned from public activities. You can read about it. P3 has got a story on that, so you can read about it. Adama Lacha expresses satisfaction with appeals court ruling. That also has to do with the Gamanche seat. That also come up last week. Over the weekend, we saw some letters coming out from the courts indicating that he's supposed to be the right king for the Ghana traditional and all of that. I mean, some of these issues. Anyway, don't forget the Gamanche also issued a statement to that effect as well. So let's see how things pan out with regards to that. Now, government considering scrapping blood processing fee. Health Minister says so. 3,000 smallholder farmers receive training in agriculture innovations. That's the Ghanaian Times this morning. A quick look at the Daily Gist. It says NPP goes for early Congress, elects candidate on January 31, 2026, and second NDC MPs caught in fake Dr. Saga, and Charles Bisu trial begins July 2. Sakawa Kemping busted in $100 million scam. And yesterday there's been concerns about this extradition whether the country will allow the USA to extradite him to the US to try him there and all that. The Interior Minister released a statement to that effect. Also, some other names were mentioned in that as well. So we're going to be following that also, and we'll bring you some more updates on that. The Chronicle says Supreme Court judges retiring at 75. No, I defer Justice Chamefe, and I think almost all of them didn't support this 75 years retirement. Almost all of them said that they wanted to be at the age of 70 because there's too much that they, take in when they're on this, journey, and extending it to 75 will not be a good thing. So yeah, Fitch upgrade vindicates NPP's economic legacy. Minority says so. Mandatory death penalty violates right to life. Justice AJ and Adansehene attacked by suspected illegal miners. That's also captured by the Chronicle this morning. Let's go to the Ghanaian publisher. It says that second-term presidential limit, Mohammed's Supreme Court nominees back restriction, government to evacuate 922 Ghanaians from Israel. And the foreign minister has also issued a statement to that effect. Minority leader warns of legal crisis ahead, and Fitch upgraded vindicates NPP's legacy. Minority says so, and that's the Ghanaian publisher. Away from that, let's get into the Punch African. It says, don't neglect your children. Gender Minister urges parent, and also Deputy Trade Minister tours Recyclers Ghana Limited, pledges government support. And Dr. Omane Boama, Defense Minister, has been captured over here, and it says, Defense Minister clarifies movement in military hierarchy positions. And sometime last week, that issue came up as well. And he's even issued a statement on his Facebook page trying to address the situation because he had been in the floor of Parliament to speak to this issue. And so, President Muhammad rescues wound to me at the Masasa Radio, 62 others from Jates Grapes, and Afinyomakin triggers landmark motion in Parliament. Krowo Assembly petitions local government minister over missing 3,000 street lights. Issue of street lights. Well, the Accra Times says, let's safeguard our democracy. Speaker Banda Sumana Bagbin and human resource and working tools are very essential. Justice Chamefe says so. Bills Up North observes International Day of Play. That's also captured by the Accra Times today. Now, away from that, let's get to the Daily Analyst, which is the last one that I have. And it says that Fitch upgrade signals Ghana's economic rebound. Mahama asserts, and we should have 20 Supreme Court judges. Justice Mensah says so. And GAC launches 2024 State of Corruption report. Abolish mandatory death penalty. Justice said in his Dominic Ajay says so. And GJ elections Bono. Daily Analysts, GJ elections Bono ratings and also June 4 as he vows to continue protecting press freedom. And I think he's done quite a good job when it comes to the presidency of the GJ. In fact, he made it more visible as well. I'll vouch for him. I mean, he's one person that I think that when it comes to the GJ presidency, he's really, really done well. Stakeholder engagement, speaking on press freedom, attacks on a journalist and all of that, and he's been there. And so I think he's one person that I'll vouch for. Anyway, Accra East ECG to recover 200 million Ghana cedi debt through nationwide revenue mobilization initiative. And don't forget that they have been putting out details of some government institutions that are even owing, and and I'm talking about the ECG. And so let's see how this also goes. I'm sure it's going to be one of the topics that we'll talk about today, maybe briefly. But yes, that exercise has been ongoing, and many people are actually owing. Some place they went in about 100 buildings, that have been put there in an estate, Rehoboth. Almost all the buildings over there are connected illegally when it comes to electricity. It doesn't make sense, but that's what it is. So yeah, we may touch on that issue when we have enough time to do so. But I'm excited to have my guest here in studio joining me. Of course, you would find in here my very good brother and friend, Richard Suma. What's the other name? Senyo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Richard Senyo. Suma.
Well, you are interested.
I never knew about that one until Senyo came here and made mention of that. But I hope you're good.
Yes. I hope you are good too. You are looking flat.
Thank you. I try. Richard is a leading team member for the Movement for Change, and maybe we'll be finding out from him soon if they'll be going for their Congress too, and what's in the camp and all of that. Also joining us this morning is another brother of mine, Abdulai Sakra Al-Hassan. He's joining us for the very first time over here. He's representing the NDC communication team. Good to see you. How are you doing, bro?
I'm good.
Oh, good?
Okay, good.
Thank you. I knew you were coming, so I had to just, take it to another level.
Yeah, they are in charge.
Take it to the max.
Yes, they are in charge.
But it's good to have you. I'm grateful for your time.
I'm very happy to be here.
Awesome. And another good brother of mine who's been in hibernation for a while, but I'm sure the gods had to speak to him to return in earnest. And he's here this morning joining us. Dennis.
Hey.
Everything good?
How good do I? Now we do opposition, so we do at the end. My brother, they sort me out small.
Oh, see this man. That is when they were in government, was wearing a 30 billion dress.
You're
African print. Now they are out of power. His dress is 1 billion.
It's now 1 million. But I mean, as usual, you are always looking fly. And I don't know, maybe Molly needs you to do to the max.
Gentlemen, I'm grateful for your time this morning. I don't take that for granted. But of course, we'll be looking at the issue of Galamsey this morning. It's our very first topic. We want to do a very intense exercise this morning. And so I want you to take a look at this. This is from Passion International Ghana. They've got something on Galamsey that I want us to take a look at. We'll be joined by Erastus this morning as well. And also we're looking at Reverend Father Joseph Kwame Blay. He's also going to be joining us here on the show as well. And I'm sure we'll be able to make some really good conversation out of this. You can also join us with your messages as well. Our WhatsApp line is active, and you can also do so on Facebook. But in the meantime, take a look at this video.
Gold mining, commonly known as Galamsey, continues to pose devastating consequences for the country's children and youth, threatening their health, safety, and access to education. Speaking to Joy News, the National Director of Compassion International Ghana, Kobina Yeboah Ochre, expressed concern over how the rights of children are often overlooked in these illegal operations. He called for urgent and collective action aimed at protecting the rights of children in mining communities.
We encourage the church to add their voices to these issues and to call on the state, to call on their church members who are engaged in this, educate the communities and support to build other alternative livelihoods where possible. And of course also on the state agencies to do their work and ensure that we are protecting and preserving our water bodies, not only for the present generation, but also for the future generation as well.
Environmental journalist and journalist of the year, Erastus Asaridonko, added that the health implications are becoming more evident in many mining areas. He revealed a rise in childhood cancer cases among children in communities heavily affected by illegal mining activities.
We are now seeing childhood cancers in consulting rooms than we were previously seeing, and many of them are coming from the Galamsey belt. We are also now seeing a lot of kidney ailments with children. And I think that as a country, this should be a cause for worry.
Representing the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, the head of programs and projects at the Department of Children reassured the public that children engaged in Galamsey due to financial hardship will be supported to return to school through the ministry's re-entry policy.
Because Galamsey children, foreigners are coming, other people are coming, there is money in the system. Then girls who are very, very vulnerable, poverty, then they also get involved in sleeping with them. So making sure that we let our children stay in school, no matter what. Even when they get pregnant, I don't know the teenage mothers re-entry program. The girls can easily come back to school and continue their education.
Meanwhile, Senior Gender and Legal Officer at the Minerals Commission, Fafanyo Kukubo, called on the Ghana Gold Board to tighten enforcement and apply strict sustainability sanctions against mining firms found exploiting children in gold production.
I'm hoping that the gold board that has been instituted will now look to such supply chains and ensure that the evidence of child labor, forced labor, illegality attached to minerals and metals are actually dealt with.
As Ghana confronts the harsh realities of illegal mining, child advocates are reminding the nation that no gold is worth the price of a child's future. Elsie Asiedu Akisiedu and Andasis reports read to you. Illegal mining, commonly known.
Grateful to Elsie, and that's a report on Galamsey, Passion International Ghana, taking that initiative and ensuring that some of these things are brought to light. And it's the conversation we want to take this morning here on the show. Now, if you check Erastus's Facebook, he's still been talking about the issue of state of emergency. This one he did about 17 hours ago, and it says, this was before the Anobra was blocked. We need to declare a state of emergency on mining and along our water bodies. It's pure evil. Check comments for my earlier expedition on the river and Cobra, and when you go there, you can see the nature of that river. Before that, he also came back and says, in my line of work, this thing really shocked me. Some Galamseyers drinking the polluted river for spiritual reasons, and that's also another video that when you go on his page you see it, and it's mind-boggling. The extent of distraction this Galamsey has caused, and even the aftermath, with what he posted a couple of days ago. So we're asking, is it too difficult for us to declare a state of emergency? If we can, what is stopping us from doing it? Or it is something that the presidency does not in any way want to even consider in the first place. And that's what we're looking at. We have also taken a look at the repealing of LI 2462, and that's also been another conversation entirely. But let's engage this morning. And I would like to start from you, Sakra. Is it too difficult where we are right now for the presidency to say that, with all these reports coming through and the danger and where we are right now, it's just okay for us to say that enough is enough, a state of emergency?
Thank you. Thank you, and good morning to your viewers as well. It's not difficult. Where we are now, all what we need is support. We've done everything we're supposed to do for the past 5 months. If you watch what has happened previously, 8 years and 5 months, you can't compare the 8 years to the 5 months.
The NPP disagree with that. They believe they did way more than you are doing.
Ghanaians know better. Ghanaians know better. The journalists know better. We've seen what they did. We'll come to that. But for now, we want people to get involved. We are in Accra here. We are sitting here. We don't know what is happening in a village or in a mine. So what we need is everyone should be involved. We should be able to know the chiefs, especially, I always say, look, the chiefs are the key players. To fight Galamsey, the chiefs are the key players. Why do I say that? Look, there's no single land which is not owned by a chief. It is the first call.
They believe you have also taken the powers from them. The Constitution does not give them that enough power to be able to say that this land belongs to me. And if you're doing the wrong thing on it, I will stop you. They don't have that power.
Sure, they don't have. But trust me, before any miner gets access to a land, a chief must be known. He knows about it. One. So what we want to do is, let's come together. Let's educate the people, the locals. Let's talk to them. They should come on board. They should give us whistleblowers out there. Look, if you watch the last 5 months, the fight is, you can say it. It's clear. We are fighting it. But don't forget, it has happened already. What has gone is gone. But now, what we're supposed to do is to come together. State of emergency that we're talking about.
It's been a calling for.
What is state of emergency now? What is more practical? One, currently, before you even import excavators to the country, you need a permit. We have over 500 excavators at the port. So today, the importers can't clear it at the port because you need permit, special permit. DVLA has to register it first for us to know who owns the excavators. Those are policies that will make sure that we solve it once and for all. What has happened, those with their licenses already, who are mining already, will deal with it, which we are working on it. But for now, to stop it from where we took over power, we have to do that. What are the things that we're supposed to do? Which one? clearly is the policies. At the port, first entrance of excavators. What do we use to do this chamfans, this equipment, or start from the port? So with effective policy, then you know that, yes, every single excavator coming into the country, you know them. You know where they are. You know the owners. So you can easily track them. That is one. Two, currently, the military, the police, all those agencies are on board now. For with all the on-go area that you can't go. First, you can't just go there and go and scatter everything or fight it. But now, currently, the security agencies are working with the government.
Yeah, but it's still dangerous for.
Yes, but we are out of
these guys are very much armed.
Yes.
People don't even know where they get their ammunition from.
Yeah, we know that. But trust me, now, out of the 8 non-go area that you can't enter those places, now we have captured 7 out of it. 8 out of the 8, 7 is now captured. We have fighted 8. Everybody says it. Every single day, excavators has been seized, chamfan has been destroyed. It is going on. What do? We just have to make sure that the policies are working. That is it.
There have been allegations that some of the NPP, NDC executives, in higher positions, are part of this.
Look, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has made it clear. Any government appointee, anyone in his government who is involved in Galamsey, when there is evidence to that, you will be fired. You will be prosecuted. And sometimes I recommend, or I sometimes say, Erastus is doing so well. Most of his information, when he gives it out, we work towards it. And he also admits that, yes, whenever he brings something out, we work towards it and we make sure that we deal with it. This is a working government. We listen to the people, we are involved. Look, fighting it is not easy. Whoever tells you you can easily fight Galamsey or those kingpin who are working on that.
You made it easy when you were in opposition.
We didn't make it easy. We know.
But from comments that came, it was as though this is something that could be easily sorted out.
Because one. Let me just give you a clear example. We have 2,137 lances being given throughout ever since we started Galamsey, or mining, which is mining. One, His Excellency Judge John Rawlings gave 24. Kufuor gave 14. Atomis gave 7. John Dramani Mahama 1 gave 44. The XY government, Nanado, gave 2,037 lances. So that should tell you that, yes, there was someone who did all these things. We are not coming to put blame game. It is not a time for blame. It's a national call. So we are not doing NDC, MPP. All we are saying is that when the presidency is ready to fight it, it is easy to be fight. One, a clear indication that says that anyone in my government should not or cannot do it. If you want to mine, go into the mine, go and mine. Leave my jurisdiction. If you watch Professor
then you wrap up for me.
I'm coming. You see, sometimes when we are working, we just have to know that the leader, the head, is a solution. We have the problem. The problem is Galamsey. We were here when we have a president who was supporting illegal mining by saying Akonta mining is not doing illegal, whilst every evidence shows that Akonta mining was doing illegal mining. What happened? When we took power, what happened? We stopped it. Because we have all the evidence that says that he is doing illegal mining. All the reports. Professor Frimpong Manso report mentioned. And look, if we want to fight Galamsey, I'm telling you for a fact, this is the document to fight Galamsey. When you have the willpower, every single thing is here. Okay. Because he made comprehensive reports.
Okay.
Just one thing that he said.
All right.
He said, just one thing that he said. As will be mentioned later in the write-up, the major challenges that we had in the mining communities occurred in 2018 when the Forestry Commission and Ministry of Land itself decided to give out almost all forest reserves in this country for mining activity. Look, this report was a comprehensive report on illegal mining or Galamsey. If you want to tackle it, this is the first foundation for us to tackle it. Okay. And we are doing everything possible to fight it.
Very well, Abdulai. Let me move on to Dennis, you agree with some of the things that he has mentioned?
Yeah, okay, good morning to you once again. It's been a while. I think that the fundamental problem with this conversation on Galamsey is the hypocrisy that exists in the tone by our brothers from the NDC. You see, the impact of gold on Ghana's economy is very huge. So it is not the conversation of 2 pesos, 2 cedis. Gold contributes about 57% to the revenue or the export pool of our country. Small-scale mining, or what originally was gather and sell, Galamsey, has been with us since the 1950s. So we, when we were in power, and my personal position on this matter has been that it is a true national canker that deserves all of us being on board, everyone. I sat here, said it so many times. I remember the September of 2024 Kafui Day, I told Kafui Day that if we don't come together, we can never solve this. But the good thing is that, you see, that can't have something they say, abaye de botechino, ye de boban. The biggest problem the NDC has now is their own words. It's the things that they said, not I am saying. Everyone in this country is willing to be on board and risk their life. We've seen Erastus do it. He says they are doing everything. First of all, the only thing they are doing is organizing an event at Kempinski on Galamsey. That's the only thing new they've done.
Really?
Yes.
He mentioned the stopping of the registering of the excavators.
It's not new. Every excavator, that's why I'm happy you're bringing it. Every excavator must be registered, must be cleared, must be registered to a name at DVLA. So it is factually incorrect.
Yeah, but beyond that, you should know the purpose is going to be useful.
So I'm saying that it is not new.
So in previous times, the purposes of the Galamsey
exactly.
Also,
if you register, so it is not even a policy by this government. It has been in existence from day one. It is a vehicle. That is why it is called Driver Vehicle and Licensing Authority. So it's not new.
The early boss speak about this passionately. I thought it was something that they were trying to initiate.
So that my point is that it is not new. The only thing new from them is the event at Kempinski. That's the only thing new.
The water guards.
It is not new. As far back as 2014, yes. As far back as 2014, water guards with their boats were in existence. We've got to set the record.
And we're still having the issue of Galamsey.
We still had the issues. So that's what I'm saying, that they have not done anything new. Rather,
maybe your water guards did not do it enough.
So we are coming. So rather, what is the situation is that, in all honesty, the Ghanaian people on 7th December made an emphatic statement vis-a-vis Galamsey, that the MPP's commitment is not enough. And that I admit. I will not shy away from it. That the Ghanaian people said it loud and clear. That move away. Move away. Let someone come. Because that person is saying that, one, Galamsey can be solved in a week. Sam George. He's a minister, cabinet minister. He sat on this Joy News with Benjamin Akabu, our own Ben. And I remember the demeanor. I don't know if you watched the video. Galamsey is killing us. That was Sam George. That is what impressed Ghanaians to bring the NDC into power. He says we should bring back the firing squad on Galamsey. He says we will continue the demonstration against Galamsey until it ends. He says Galamsey is Ghana's drug crisis and must be treated the way cartels are treated. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says that, on Ghana Web, he says that I will pardon all illegal miners arrested by this government. And I will go after the kingpins. Two fundamental things. He has not pardoned them. What pardoning them, the promise to pardon them, what it did was it emboldened them. It gave them a trust that the MPP hates Galamseyers, but the NDC loves them. So let us vote for them. He will pardon us. He has not done that. 2, he says he will go after campaigns. Okay. It's still the same old young men in the site who are being arrested. So my point is that you played hypocrisy. You played politics with it. You sent Kweku Boahen and Tony Obin to Galamsey site to promise Galamseyers. That's ye ba. Ye be mamu aye. Ye be shemu kena. So when my brother sits here and tells us about something new they are doing, the only thing new is the event at Kimpiski that spent over 1 million Ghana cedis to organize. That money could have gone to Erastus and your team.
And
here.
you're making reference to which event exactly?
Oh, the one that had the Speaker of Parliament and then the Vice President headline. At Kimpiski. Galamsey event. Galamsey doesn't happen at Accra. So it is sheer hypocrisy to flip-flop. Said this yesterday and say this today. I just wanted to take that off the records, off the books. And then he refers to Professor Frimpong Manson. You see, the Professor Frimpong Manson's document is truly a good document. But there is a part that says that when you get to Western North, the NDC executives involved in Galamsey is outrageous. It cites all of those things. So it is not a one-sided report. But the problem was what they said, the rhetorics of the NDC. Indeed, I have said that I would be very, very disappointed in the MPP if we take the same line the NDC took. And this is me being nationalistic. We cannot be like them and now want to make political gains out of Galamsey. It is barbaric, and the effect it comes with has no party colors. So we have a responsibility, and this is to all of us, to support the likes of Erastus, to stand firm and speak up, and then assist this government. Do not play hypocrisy and politics with it. Do not hand point the partisan nature of it, but rather come together like he's calling for. The problem is that he did not have this kind of voice. You see the tone today? We need to stop it. My brother, your tone was a strong one. Your tone was a very vociferous one. I watched you say it so many times. Today, you are hiding and you are commissioning yellow boys. You call them blue Coast Gas. Coast Gas has not solved Galamsey. You promised the people of this country a state of emergency, and okay, you asked him rightly so. And Joy the multimedia group deserves every commendation for this. You've been on the case, and that is brilliant journalism. You've asked the question. You promised a state of emergency. The current minister supported it. The Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, he supported it. And again, Sam George supported it. These are cabinet ministers. What happened to that promise? The promise to the people of this country that when we come in a week, we would eradicate Galamsey. When we were begging the people of this country that the NDC must drop the politics and the partisan nature at which we are approaching this issue and support all of us to take on the Galamsey menace, because it is not a canker that knows political colors.
Okay.
And just like, let me on that.
I'll wrap up on that. I understand that we have Erastus.
And just like any other issue, we've got to face it head on. Now, where do we go? First of all, the government must come through with its promises and declare a state of emergency like he said. I didn't say it. This is not my words. These are their words. Combat it by going after the kingpins and pardoning the people he said he will pardon. All we are calling for, the likes of Erastus, yourself, myself, every Ghanaian is saying that the things you promised, the work will not be difficult. You say, do what you said you would do. That be all Ghanaians they call for now these days. You know, and the excavator, that thing does not solve anything. It has been there. Solve the problem you promised the people of this country. All these books are supposed to help you solve it, my brother. Solve Galamsey, like you said.
Okay, all right. Richard, I'll come back to you now. Let me try and get Erastus in. Erastus, good morning, bro. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm good.
I'm grateful for your time, and thanks a lot for always going ahead and bringing us all the updates with the issue of Galamsey. We're really grateful. But NDC MPP, we wake up every morning and it's NDC MPP. Yet, a very simple thing, state of emergency, we can achieve that. With PULI 2462, we can't do it. The executives are blaming each other. This one is involved in this one is also involved in this. That doesn't get tiring for you to wake up every day, go and look for all the information you need for the politicians to actually take that decision, and it's still the same issue.
Thank you very much. And that is why I wish you will not panel NPP, NDC to talk about Galamsey. Galamsey is not political. I am amazed that today many of the MPP fraternity members call me. They now believe in my work. back in the day, they hounded me. They did not even want to acknowledge that I have even done documentaries on illegal mining. Remember, I did Distraction for Gold.
Yeah.
And it became, a loud voice in Ghana. The last minister went to Menchia, showed his own version of Galamsey to the chiefs. I remember. They never mentioned my work in any of their speeches, not even to the extent of inviting me to even work with them. I sent them numerous messages, they will not respond. So, you see, the moment you try to politicize environment issues, the real sense of the problem, the urgency is lost. And that is what is happening.
And unfortunately, the decision...
Anytime we meet about illegal mining, we will do this blame game, MPP, NDC, and then the urgency. Mind you, we are sinking very deep into this environmental mess. It does not affect the MPP followers alone, let alone NDC followers or CPP. People are dying out of it. Children. Just last week, the Pediatric Society held a conference on Galamsey. And come and see what the doctors from their consulting rooms are mentioning. A small girl, about 6 years old, and if you look at the levels of mercury in her blood, and she's sick, this is real. We look at cases of cancer that are unexplained, coming into their consulting rooms from the Galamsey belt. That is real. If they were to be your children, then it will not be MPP NDC, it will be a real issue for you. We have young men dying with silicosis at the Konfanachi Teaching Hospital, bedridden, put on oxygen, their lungs hardened.
Okay, I think that we've lost connection with Erastus, but we'll try and reconnect with him again. Let me come to Richard in the studio. And Richard.
Yeah, KMJ. First of all, I would like to say good morning to your cherished viewers, my co-panelists, and to all the good people of a whole central constituency, and then the people within the Nodu enclave. I wish all of them a very beautiful morning. KMG, I don't know if you permit me just 30 seconds to correct some impression that was created about a statement I made here last week in regards to the data price, the data negotiations, the telco negotiation. I think I was a bit misconstrued by your graphics team to suggest that I was calling for a free data access, completely free data access.
Oh, is it?
You were here, you know, I never mentioned anything of that sort. So I would like to...
You only said they can do better.
Yes, I only said, and I further explained technically to say that the cloud itself is absolutely free. Nobody pays for the cloud. Telcos uses receivers, transmitters, relays, logistics, administrative staff. They pay for the spectrum, they pay for bandwidth. They know there are a lot of cost components in running a telecommunication company. So they have two revenue lines principally, which is that from the voice, the credits we buy, that is a major revenue line for them, and then the data that we also buy. In other jurisdictions, they focus much more on the voice. Data is supposed to be relatively cheaper to encourage what we call the digital economy, because if you develop an app and whatever you develop without data, how do we use it? So I was of the view that government should go back to the negotiation table and let the telcos understand that they are still extorting it, because we expect price reduction. So if I pay, let's say, 10 cedi for 1 gigabyte of data, the 10% they are adding only gives me 100 megabytes. Okay? Instead of doing so, they should rather allow us to pay, let's say, like 7 cedis per 1 gig. Then now I would have felt the impact directly in my pocket, rather than just saying that we have gone to negotiate with them to increase the volume of data we get by 10%. It's still very, very abysmal. So we still call for a further negotiation because the telcos are extorted, especially when it comes to the area of data. That is my point. So I would like to clarify that this morning before I go to this substantive issue.
Well noted.
Yes. So as a matter of fact, I have made it clear that this fight against Galamsey is wishy-washy. Okay, we are not developing what we call scale of preference. What is our number one priority list as a country? Now, when the global pandemic of COVID came, you know the erstwhile government and Akufo-Addo will constantly give us a weekly update as to the progresses we are making, isn't it the case?
Yeah.
I would have wished to see this present government, if the fight against Galamsey is as important to them and the degradation of the environment, the health conditions and the health implications, what the unborn children are facing, which is a no fault of theirs. If you put all these things together, you realize that we are not prioritizing the fight against Galamsey. We are always rendering lip service to the fight against Galamsey. Because let me tell you, anytime we are going into an election, how many people made NDC the government of the day? About 6 million, isn't it? About 3 million voted for NPP, isn't it? You put all the total data together, we had about 10 million people who casted their vote, isn't it? And we are talking about a country that is made up of not anything less than 30 million individuals. Okay? So the 6 million people who gave NDC the mandate to govern us are a small percentage of the people. Okay? Now, the vast majority of the people out there who are not political activists or are not participated in the political space are crying. They are feeling the pinch of it. That nothing is being done, and absolutely nothing is being done as long as the fight against Galamsey is concerned. I would love to see this issue of state of emergency. What does a state of emergency constitute? It is just to tell the people that we have identified this issue as a national disaster in the making, or a national disaster that has already been happening. And we need to prioritize it and put all our hands on decks in order to combat it, and combat it holistically. Now, my good brother said now that the lands are for the chiefs. Don't forget that if they find gold here in Joy Prime premises today, it has become a state asset. It is no longer for it no longer belongs to Joy Prime. So it is the state who determines who come and mine here, not Joy Prime. Are you getting the point? Yeah. So in this case, if you really want to combat Galamsey, then that is why we vested the power in the government. That's why we are running an executive government-led administration as a country. So we are giving you all the powers, okay, that you can even act without consultation of the legislature, without consultation with the judiciary, because we have vested the power into your hands. So you can declare a state of emergency today, and let us be constantly getting a weekly update from the president. Okay, that every week, this is the progress we have made. Because don't forget that in this fight against Galamsey, we take 2 steps forward, and then we take 1 step backwards. Are you getting the point? Yeah. And then now, the last time I heard my good brother over there was saying they organized something called Mining in Motion. Okay, then they paraded all the people, Ufwa was there, everybody was there, they claim it's mining in motion. What is the significance of that conference, or what is the significance of that program when we are still having people mining directly on River Ankobra? The chamfans, do you know that the chamfans, not all the chamfans are imported from China? Yeah. Some of the chamfans are built here in Ghana. Okay, so the last time I heard the EPA boss say that all she needed was a helicopter, to fight. A gun, and you see, I kind of wanted to believe in what she was saying, because let me tell you, we live in a society where the punitive measures are just not there. So people are taking advantage of the fact that we do it and nothing really will happen to us. And the fact again of the matter is that there's poverty everywhere. So what it means is that when you go and capture this area, when you go to combat it in this area, they are quick enough to outsmart you and start their activities in another enclave. Okay, so unless we put it together as a holistic fight, that we are saying that within the next 6 months or 1 year of government, every day we will be on your neck. Do you know that besides Joy or Multimedia, who is still having a good journalist like a Rastos, still pursuing this agenda. I hardly hear any other media houses talking every day about Galamsey. So when I saw the flyer again, I said that the debate is about Galamsey again. I said, wow, because we've been having this conversation
almost every time.
And you guys never get tired about it. That means that you are passionate about resolving this issue, okay? So until all of us come together and understand that the clergy must be brought, the Islamic community has to be brought in, traditional authorities have to be brought in. Like my brother said, mining is not happening in Accra. So we need to decentralize the fight against what? Galamsey, involving the district assembly and the district security agencies to be able to fight Galamsey head on.
Okay.
Either than that, we are going to be patting ourselves on the shoulder and say, oh, we have claimed 7 out of the 8. We have done this, we have done that. It's good. It's a good step. But is it sustainable? Is it good? They say agrobesoa. I am not seeing that growth that is sowing from Anopa.
Okay.
So I am definitely challenged as to how far we can go as long as this Galamsey fight is concerned.
Let me ask the same question with regards to Agrobeso from Anopa from Erastus' point of view. I understand that he's back with us again. Erastus, if you can hear me, bro. Try and unmute your microphone for me, please.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Great. Richard hasn't seen that yet. He still thinks that we have a long way to go when it comes to the fight against Galamsey.
Yes, indeed, we have a long way to go. I will not also deny the fact that something is being done.
Okay.
I will not say that nothing is being done. Something is being done.
And that you want to give credit to both parties?
You see, the MPP did something. Okay. I will not say the MPP did nothing about Galamsey. Because when they started with a ban on all forms of mining in 2017. They formed the Galamsey. They formed the Interministerial Task Force. They came up with Operation Vanguard. They did Operation Halt 1, Operation Halt 2. And so at that time, it looked very fruitful until they started going down. Vested interest, political interest, appointees of the president who were interested, who went directly into illegal mining. One of them, Chemawuntumi. The others, I will not mention names. I have done a lot of reports on the others. Those who were mining in Ankwaso Forest Reserve and all that. You see, the moment that happens, then you tie your own hands. You begin to falter because you will not fight your own people.
Yeah, that's right.
And that is how the MPP began to fall. From 2023, 2024, they did nothing. They just watched people do Galamsey because they felt that they nearly lost 2020 elections because they were fighting Galamsey. I say it's wrong, but that is what happened to them. Under the NDC, they started sluggish, very slow, as if nothing was happening. And I was shocked that all the promises, we fought with you, we did all the demonstrations and others, you supported us. So I was, I was expecting a rigorous nature of fight, like something is on the table, that something is burning. It did not happen. We started whipping them from the bottom. We have not stopped, we continue to whip them in line, and they started doing something. So far, it is the Inspector General of Police who is doing something extraordinary at the moment.
I see.
And I must commend him. It is very good. If he gets the support of the government machinery itself, from the Ghana Armed Forces, and then we bring on board all the other things, then we'll be getting somewhere. And I must say that a state of emergency is overdue. Now, let me share this data with you.
Okay.
And tell you why the state of emergency is due. This is the latest data from the Ghana Water Resources Commission. This is April 2025. Now, the Ofin River in 2023 was registering around 3,000. Now, the Ofin River at Adiemra is registering 19,325 NT. When you go to the same Ofin on Dunkwa, where they are mining directly inside the river itself. It is now 17,600.
Hello, Erastus, are you there? Okay, I think he's frozen again. We'll try and reconnect with him again to get the updates that he's giving us. But you can also join us here on the show. Send your messages to WhatsApp line is active. You can also go on Facebook and put your comments over there. I'll be reading some of your messages that you have sent. Now, Galamsey is a national issue, and we want all of us to be very nationalistic about it. So when you send your messages, know where we're going with this, so we don't end up becoming the same MPP NDC thing. You understand? Let's all find solutions to it. So tell us the solutions that we all are supposed to be looking at when it comes to this fight. Erastus, I understand that we can hear you again.
Yeah.
Great.
So when you look at Bremu at Potrasi, 21,786. 21,000, boss. Now, the standard, WHO standard for drinking water is 5 nephelometric turbidity units. Subtract that from 21,000.
Jesus.
Look at how polluted our rivers are today. So why shouldn't that create a sense of emergency in anybody's mind? Any serious leader at the moment, any serious leader will call for a state of emergency. Why are we fighting our own government to save the environment? Why? I think it should be the other way around. The government should rather be imploring on citizens to rise up and defend the environment. So if these things doesn't worry you or worry any president or any leader to call for a state of emergency and deal with the problem, mind you, mining on water bodies is criminal. You can go to jail from 5 to up to 25 years. Mining alongside and violating government-owned buffer zone policies, it's a crime in Ghana. So why are we watching our young people, few of them, sit directly on water bodies like Ankobra, the Pra, the Bremu, and pollute it? Whilst we watch on, why? Why? So I'm saying that, you see, today, many of MPP, NDC food soldiers, and even the MPP people who started have teamed up together and they are destroying forests. What they are saying is that there is a way to mine legally. We don't want to go there. Allow us to mine illegally. That's what people are calling for now. And why should government watch them doing this? Today, all our forests have been invaded. If the president said 9 of them, I disagree, Mr. President. The data says that 45 of our forest reserves, some of them GSBs, have been attacked so far. And the Forestry Commission described the Ziri Forest Reserve as still very active. It's showing red on the data they present. All the others, some of them are showing yellow, indicating that there are still presence of illegal miners in those forests. So please, yes, the government is doing something now. It started just like that with the MPP, and then at a point in time they faltered, and then they went into serious relapse, and they allowed people to, destroy things, and that is why we have the situation we have today. Let's call a spade a spade. It's because the MPP decided not to fight it and allow people to go on and misbehave. That is why we have the situation we have largely today. But this government must not repeat the mistakes of the previous government. They must sit up and they must start acting. That's what I would say.
Okay, very well. But hold on for me. Let me go on another conversation with Reverend Father Joseph Kwame Blay. Is also one person that has been, doing so well when it comes to the issue of Galamsey. He's a reverend and he's a Catholic priest from St. Francis Parish and a native of Jama in the Western North region. Since 2015, he has mobilized the Jama community to successfully resist Galamsey, banning illegal mining, protecting waterways, and also inspiring national level environmental efforts. Now, it's actually a situation that has had to, give him that opportunity to see what the other people who are against Galamsey are doing and what people who love the fight against Galamsey. This man has rejected money, and I'm talking about lots of money to be able to stop the issue of Galamsey in this community. And I'm glad that we have him to talk to this morning. Reverend, if you can hear me, a very good morning to you. Reverend, can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, please. Please, good morning. Good morning, and thanks for inviting me to this famous and important show.
Great. I'm grateful for your time this morning. I understand we collectively have to all, been involved in fighting Galamsey, and you have been doing your very best where you are. What is the inspiration for you to take up such, fight against Galamsey in your community?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think, like the scripture says, you cannot light a lamp and then put it under the bushel basket. So when we have the light, we have to put it on a lampstand to illumine that particular area. And that is exactly what I did with my knowledge, with my position as a cleric, as a priest, and then also a native of the community. I saw this way back in 2015 when I traveled around the Wasa area, and I could see what danger that was happening. So I mobilized my people, I informed them, I called the chief and the elders and told them the danger that was about to come. So in fact, way back in 2015, the elders, first of all, they didn't know ignorantly, they poured some libation and then allowed the people to do some tests. And I called them and said, no, you can't do that. Once you do that, you are permitting them. So actually the first trench that they dug, I was there, and then we went, and thank God in those days there was one very good police inspector at our place. So together with him, we filled that side. And then I was even called by the DISEC, the District Security Council. Why have I stopped? The boys were coming to have work. And I told them that, please, DCE at that time, what is done is illegal, is not right to the people. They were not informed. So you have no right. You should do what I am doing. So that really stopped it until way back in then 2017 when I went to Rome to work there. Then they started to show another incursion to come again. So fortunately for me and unfortunately for them, I came down and I met those managers or miners, and we had a public debate in town. So I told them, look, these are the legal framework. This is the Act 706. This is what you are supposed to do. Tell me what you are going to do. What is going to be the benefit for the people? And I'm going to tell you what is going to be the harm and the danger that the people are going to get. So they spoke, you are going to bring work and this. I said, well, you are going to destroy our rivers. You are going to destroy our farming. You are going to kill our animals and all the immoralities. So at the end of the day, there were about more than 1,000 people. So I asked the entire population, well, these are what they are saying. This is what you have heard. What do you want? I said, well, no, we don't want it. The chief says no. Everybody said no. I said, well, then why don't you put it into writing? So we devised and prepared a kind of a community bylaw. So that bylaw since then has been very, very binding. So we stood by that. Then way back in 2022, some people attempted, we arrested them and then sent them to the police. So they were prosecuted, tried. Later on, Ghana think, well, let's try to withdraw the case. But at least we withdrew the case and then they learned the lesson. Then after that, one of the elders, well, we need work. So we said yes. So now we can say no. And then these days, fortunately, somebody recorded him. So when he was recorded, I listened to it. I said, well, this is an inchoate crime. There is a crime if somebody is trying to incite people to go and, excuse me to say, to make a coup d'etat, that is already a crime. So we took him to the police, and then we found merit of prosecuting him. So again, he was also prosecuted, and eventually the case was withdrawn, and that served as a lesson.
Okay.
So that is where we have. So the advocacy has really worked, not because we try to present, or I try to organize them, let them know the danger that is ahead, let them know what benefit they are now having. And now I can say that in my community, Jima, still about 99%, of course, in any community, you get also the dividends. Yeah. So I will not say that 100%, but the majority, to the extent that you dare not mention Galamsey, even as we are talking.
I see. And you have to even reject 1 million Ghana cedis to permit Galamsey.
More than that. More than that. Yeah.
That's quite practical. And I want us to look at the situation from a nationalistic point of view now. This is something practical you've been able to do, and you've been able to be successful with it. Nationally, what do you think that the government can employ to ensure that these steps that you used, they can also use the same thing to ensure we are able to find the issue of Galamsey?
Yeah, I think nationally, at the government or national level, most of the stakeholders, most of people like Erastus, myself, and other people who share their view, it is just the goodwill. The government is lacking the willpower. Because what we are dealing with the Galamsey, it's an invasion. I think recently some of the soldiers went to one place, is it Abruan Nkran, somewhere in the Sekri area, where you have national people from different nationals. You have Burkinabes, Nigerians, and all these, and they are there destroying. That is an invasion. So if we have a national security force that cannot deal with a small invasion, small security threat like this, then I think Ghana is at risk. If one day Burkina Faso rises against us, Togo rises against us, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Recently, just this week, we read about 200 people massacred in Nigeria.
Yeah, and in Benue State, yeah.
It just started like a matchstick. So, and then Galamsey, the studies that we have done, most of these civil wars and other things are related to Galamsey. Even our own Pope Francis, our Pope who died, in his Laudato Si and Sacra, says, when the resources are finished, then now what can? People will begin to fight over it. We'll fight over the rivers, we'll fight over the land. And in my own research, my dissertation was on Galamsey. These rivers and other land features, traditionally, they are boundaries. So when you come and you divert the river from, let's say, 50 meters, you push it to the west side, another 50 meters, and you don't re-divert it in future, these can be sources of conflict and sources. So the government, I think, is so easy. Once, I think I was on your program, a certain military officer said the militaries, they need only 48 hours, not more than 48 hours, and they will stop it. That give the military the go ahead, withdraw all political influences, and then, as we are saying, in a state of emergency, they said not more than 48 hours. And I believe they can do it. This is not the first time. I remember when we were schoolboys in President Rawlings' time, that time it was Flight Lieutenant J.J. Rawlings, in the PNDC era. Ghanaians were smuggling cocoa everywhere. Even in my own area, where cocoa farmers, all the cocoa was sent to Cote d'Ivoire. In most of the villages, just only one soldier. I remember in my village, there was one soldier, Anthony Ampore. Just only one soldier. And within 3 months, all cocoa was sent to Ghana. So if we want to do it, we can do it. It's so easy.
Okay.
So if we have levies and the people who are armed and they are not doing the work, what is going to be this river watch body who are unarmed and going to people who are having a pumping machine? What are they going to do? So I think the government has to use the willpower. If we want to do it, the military are saying not more than 48 hours. And I trust we have experts. We've been leading Lebanon, the UN military force, General Kwenu. I mean, the whole Ghanaian was leading that. So we have the credit. So why can't we use it to help ourselves?
Very well. Reverend, let me try and engage Erastus a bit. Erastus, from Reverend's point of view, in your, moving around and interacting with the community and all of that, do you see most people in Reverend's position, also doing what Reverend is doing? Do we have the cleric engaging in the Galamsey fight?
Well, Reverend's stance is admirable. Few Ghanaians will take that stance. And I have so much respect for him. And I think that if we have about 20 of such in every community, we will have won this fight a long time ago. He talks about deviant people. And that is what we are witnessing. You see, despite the IGP's onslaught, just last week, they went to Abelabo and went to the Zema East area, Douale, where they are mining directly on the Ankobra, and they arrested 50 illegal miners. 17 of them were Burkinabes. Foreign nationals who have gained access to our country, and they are sitting directly on our water bodies and they are polluting it. We have a number of people who, despite the onslaught, are still going into forest reserves and are still mining. You know, the Jimira and the Jimira Extension Forest Reserves in Nkawie, a number of swoops, a number of raids have been organized in that area. Yet, you have party people, and this one I'll be very specific. You have NDC party people at the local level leading illegal miners into the reserves, taking advantage of that and using corrupt security personnel to move into the forest with excavators. As we speak, we still have people in there mining illegally. We still have people in Diaso, the reserves in those areas. And if we show you the drone footages we have from that place at the moment, it will shock you that people are bent on going illegal. They know that this is criminal, but they say, allow us to engage in criminality. Whereas there's the other opening, where you can go and present your papers, go through the process, and go and mine, responsibly. And so, seriously, if the president does not show that masculinity that we need, the testicular fortitude to fight this and create examples for people to know that this is not acceptable, the status quo will remain. It will move from one point to another, graduate, and turn into a snowball effect that we cannot even contain. And that is how the previous government started. And this government is moving towards that trajectory. And you must refrain from doing that. So I want to see an all-hands-on-deck approach. Yes, the IGP has started something. Can the Ghana Armed Forces follow suit? Can we have a specific entity that is coming out with a strategy? I have suggested that let's get an FPU, Ghana Armed Forces, permanent base in every region, protecting forest reserves. So we can have one in Samraboy, which is a forest area which controls Tanania, Tanonimre, Boy River, Boy Tano, and all those. Permanently based there, as an entity that we can fall on. They will be policing, they will be patrolling, they will be taking care of it. We can have one in the eastern region protecting the Tiwa and others, so that in case something is happening, they will know firsthand and be able to deal with it. Then we can bring the other forms of fighting this, alternate livelihood programs and other things on board, and make sure that all these are working. If we do not declare mining on water bodies as a red zone, and if we are not seen to be showing that is a red zone, mind you, it will be a short time. We'll be begging for water.
And I'm sure that's not where we want to get to as a nation. Erastus Asaridonko, many thanks to you this morning for joining us. I'm grateful for your time. And please do take care of yourself. As and when we need any other updates, we'll be coming to you as well. Let me also say a big thank you to Rev for joining us this morning here on the show as well. Reverend Father, we're grateful for your time this morning. And we want to congratulate you and also encourage you to continue to do what you've already started.
Thank you very much.
Great, and that's Reverend Father Joseph Kwame Blay, a Catholic priest from St. Francis Parish and a native of Jama in the Western North region, also joining us this morning as well. And I'm going to come back to you. So let me start off with you, Sakra. Now, we're supposed to have prosecuted some foreign nationals.
Sure.
Democracy Hub has taken the Minister of Interior and a few other institutions to court. They're suing them. The Ghana Immigration Service is part of it. The Attorney General is the third defendant. Why did we get here?
Sure. I think it is clear. We've discussed this time in numbers that look, do we have the infrastructure? One, the requisite infrastructure. We don't have adequate police cells. We don't have adequate prison infrastructure. And we are talking of foreign nationals. And
but they've engaged in criminal acts.
No doubt. But we do what you are just saying right now, that a Ghanaian, you just mentioned a Ghanaian, which the US want him to extradite and bring them over.
Yeah, the scam, 100 million scam.
You've committed a crime. You've deported the person. You hand over the person to the country.
But a lot of people believe that justice over there will not be.
How many years do we? Justice. No, we are here. How many years do our system takes? Do we have the adequate infrastructure? We don't have it. So what do? We can't keep them here. Just let them go. Let's solve our issues. Simple. We've given reasons. So you give us reasons that, okay, we have adequate infrastructure. Then we can talk about that. We are going to feed these people. We are going to keep them in our cells. For how long? Those are things. It's normal. It's general. The issue is that they are destroying. We arrest them. We deport them. We take their details. We take their fingerprint for us to prevent them
from entering the country. We've seen that happen before.
What are they doing? They are destroying our land. We've arrested them. We deport them. That is the first solution that we're supposed to do. Can we keep them here? For now, we've arrested over 500 of them. Where do we keep them? You know what we are talking about. Do we have it? We don't. So sometimes we should just face facts. And you see, Erastus he should be fair to us. We've done so much. It should be blunt. If you want all of us to fight this that we are talking about, it should be blunt.
Well, he commended the IGP.
Yes. Why would he go? Who is
not the president?
No, because we have a president.
The voice you used in opposition, it's not the same voice that we're saying.
You see, that's what I'm saying, that it should give us what we are due. The issue is that who allowed the IGP to work? We allow him to work. We have given him all the willpower. We have given all the security agencies the willpower to work. We have allowed them. We have shown commitment that we are fighting this illegal. The president has said it. None of my government appointee will be in anything called illegal mining. If Erastus have evidence, he should bring it. Present it to the president. If he doesn't do anything about it, then it means he is not fighting it.
Okay.
But you can't just come and say the party members, the party foot soldiers, and other staffs without evidence. No, you can't just do that. And look.
Okay. All right. Let me move. I'll come back. Let me move to Dennis. Dennis.
We have a problem. It is wrong to make this anything partisan, but we would continue to struggle to win ourselves of the partisanship if the hypocrisy doesn't stop. Today, you are here telling Erastus to give you evidence. Erastus should be the one to give you evidence. Are you serious?
You don't get.
Hold on. So you further go on to say that if Erastus wants us all to fight Galamsey, he should give us our credit. Who benefits of fighting of Galamsey? Is it Erastus or the government? Who should even be given credit in this situation, such that you have the courage to tell Erastus? Hasn't Erastus given you enough credit? He's putting himself and his life on the line, and you demand credit. He's told you to your face, like he told MPP to our face, that we were failing. And that I have said that is why the Ghanaian people push MPP aside and brought NDC. Because MPP did ban on small-scale mining, Operation Vanguard, Interministerial Committee, blah, 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 but it still did not solve the problem.
2 years down,
yes, it still
went back
good.
To where it's supposed.
That's what I'm coming. So
and that's where we are.
It still did not solve the problem. And that's why we brought the new government. And all we have been saying is that drop the hypocrisy, get everybody on board. Let us face Galamsey in a non-partisan nature. That has been my position from day one. And you see, Erastus gave a very dangerous data. The data he gave, I have been shocked because I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad. According to Erastus's data, Galamsey has gotten worse. And you heard him. At the point where turbidity measurement was 3,000, now it is 19,000. You opened your mouth. It tells you that it has gotten worse. And so all of us must call on the government to do the things it promised the people of this country it was going to do by declaring a state of emergency on the lines.
Okay.
By ensuring that some of the things he said today should never be said. That where will we put the foreign nationals who are arrested? That is the worst I've ever heard anybody say. Let's take this for a fact. Let me wrap up on that. Yeah. Let me wrap up. When Osafo Mafu spoke about deporting foreign nationals, I said it was wrong. The NDC also said it was wrong. Everybody said it was wrong. Today we come back in 2 years And that is the playbook. And he tells us that we don't have a prison cells. We don't have places to put them. Where do we put Ghanaians who go wrong? Okay. The same cell we put Ghanaians who go wrong should be the same cell to host the Chinese. And let me end on this. No Chinese government would arrest a Ghanaian for armed robbery or illegal mining and tell Ghana government that we are bringing him back to you. No Chinese government will do that.
Okay. Richard, let me have your take on that, and I'll do some few messages.
Quickly, let me commend the Reverend Father for the work that he has done. And sincerely, I want to believe that it's by virtue of his position and that he's a clergy. You know, here in Africa, especially in Ghana, we pay a lot of respect to those within the clergy fraternity.
Yeah.
So I would have loved to see many of people within the Christian community joining the fight and helping to educate the masses as to the danger that lies ahead. And don't forget that we are not futuristic in mind all the time. Because today is 2025, isn't it? Just imagine the temerity level that Erastus is talking about, assuming without admitting that we are not able to win the fight. 10 years to come, 2035, do you know what we'll be talking about?
Crazy.
Do you know what we'll be talking about? So please, as a matter of urgency, let us see the firefight. Okay, it's not about slow to the action. You must act and act aggressively because it's like it's a revolution. The people are becoming rebellion. You chase them here, they go there. So unless you use some draconian measures, there is no way you can achieve anything because don't forget, Ghanaians themselves and those small minority, those who are involved with the illegal mining, they are not up to 100,000 people. Are they up to 100,000 people? So why can't 30 million people combat 100,000 people and mute them? Absolutely. And then this issue of prison. Look, my beloved brother, don't go there. Don't go there. If they fall, if they come here, and don't forget, our borders are so porous. You deport them, they'll come, you deport them through Togo, they'll come to Burkina.
So
that one, if our people can be locked up in Sawan prison and 1,000 people are sleeping in one cubicle, why can't the Burkina Faso also join them there?
Okay. This one over here says, good morning, KFJ panelists. I am Big Alasko from Garu Tempani, and my greetings to all the youth in Tempani. I want to suggest that gold from Galamsey should be bought lower price to discourage the youth by venturing into it. I'm saying because gold is very expensive, and any little quantity you get is a big money, and therefore everyone wants to go into it. We need to build special prison for Galamseyers and keep everyone there without deporting them. Burkina President used only 7 months to build a complex prison, so we can also do it. Now, Master Planner says Ghanaians are highly surprised about how President Mahama and his NDC are handling the issue of Galamsey. All the noise they made in opposition seems to be a political deception. It is clear that they are not ready to fight Galamsey. The regional and constituency chairmen are taking over all Galamsey's side and doing Galamsey criminally. Everything is out of hand. The country is on an autopilot, no direction. Master Planner sent in that came from Pong comes in and says that, good morning, KMJ. If not for hypocrisy and dishonesty, what is stopping the current government, who is in opposition, proposed for a state of emergency to stop Galamseyers from destroying our water? Unless the NDC government intentionally lied to Ghanaians to vote them to power. Galamsey is currently going on and it's happening with impunity, with party and government officials deeply involved. We can only commend Joy Prime for bringing this discussion back on the table. Sadly, we cannot take away the NPP-NDC factor. Currently, NDC officials are the ones owning concessions and are in total control across all district and municipalities. Now, they have taken concessions from even legit miners, all in the name of Yabang Naaba, and shared among themselves. If the president really means his words, then he should declare state of emergency. That is the only way we can make headway in the fight, as was done in 2017, and we all saw the results until government relaxed on the fight and it degenerated. Now, let me go to the next one over here. It says, good morning, KMJ. No simplicity. If this few people, because of their personal interests and greedy, are killing innocent people, why should the nation sit and watch on? Very unfortunate, but shoot and kill the next option. Stephen Opoku in Saki, Michelle Camp sent in that. So let me get the ones on Facebook if it's ready. Good morning, Mr. Host. And when it comes to fighting against Galamsey, the NDC and visionary John Mahama government has done very massive and still doing the God's work, unlike what cited NPP, what Ghanaians witnessed under Nana Bawumia government, where Professor Frimpong Boateng report cited NPP bigwigs like Wontumi and Co. in Galamsey. Our forest was destroyed by NPP, and Hiasika Kempings. NPP is a great threat against Ghana's development and fighting against Galamsey. Nana Jedu Drobo in German South is saying that, okay, I'm unable to read all your messages, but I'm grateful that you were able to send them this morning. I'm sure hopefully tomorrow when we continue the conversation, we'll be able to do some more of your messages. On WhatsApp, let me see if I can get a few on Facebook. I'm running out of time, so I'll just do a few messages on Facebook, and then we'll say goodbye. Can't find them. Can I get, okay, so my time is up, but can I get your quick comment?
Yeah.
Then we're...
You see, my brother earlier on said in regards to the excavators at the port, look, now the law is before you even import, you need a permit, which we use to monitor. So at first, you can just go on there and go and import. Anyone can just import excavators. Now, what we are doing is that before you even import excavators, you need a permit.
Okay, not when they arrive.
When they arrive, what we are doing now is that, some are already out of the port. So you have to go for a permit.
Yes.
Now,
but
if you want to bring the regime, the customs regime right now is when you want to import.
Which new law?
Please relax. What I'm saying is that the customs regime that you have to use to do importation of excavators, you need a permit right now. That is what we are working on. And look, we are all talking about state of emergency. We don't need state of emergency at this moment.
Really?
The policies that we need are
the one who's on the ground says we need it. You say we don't need that.
We are also on the ground. We are also on the ground. We are working on the ground. Day in, day out, police are arresting them, militaries are arresting them. We are fighting it. We don't need state of emergency.
What would it take from the presidency if they declare state of emergency?
That's what I'm saying. We have what we are doing. We are working hard. We have our own ways. What we need now is that we don't need state of emergency, but we need strong regulations. And that is what we are working on right now.
All right. Very well. Thank you. Dennis.
Let's be blunt. I think that we are not making the work you guys are doing here worth it. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Every Ghanaian must be worried about the Galamsey.
Did you give state of
Everybody must be worried.
Oh, that's it.
Please, he said I should keep quiet. Please keep quiet too. Everyone must be involved. We must all be concerned. That is one. Two, every one of us must ask the government to do the things it said it would do.
We never said
the things it said it would do by leading members and the flag bearer. He's not doing it. Three, every one of us must condemn every action of this nature that comes against us. And four, you see, when you hear people talk about the regulations, and we are here, we don't need state of emergency, you are wearing suit. You want to talk about we don't need state of emergency. Get to the ground.
Then how's the suit got to do with
I'm coming.
The state of
Get to the ground. I'm trying to let you know that he's not on the grounds. He doesn't know what is happening.
Okay.
What is happening is that it is worsening. And not from me. I am not saying it is worsening. The data shows that it is worsening.
Okay.
And that if it is worsening, and you still think that yesterday, when it was 3,000 levels, we need a state of emergency. But today, when it is 19,000 levels, we don't need state of emergency.
We never said we need
state of
emergency.
At the end of the day, we all have a responsibility. This cannot be a partisan fight.
Okay.
It can also not be a hypocritical fight.
Okay. President says, good morning. I'm watching live from Osu. And Ni Ajabin says that there is everything new NDC government is doing. The difference between what NPP did and what NDC is doing is once Galamsey is arrested, they are not allowed to go back and continue their work like it was happening under NPP government. All the excavators seats are still with the state and none are missing. These are the variations. And this one from Crown Prince and says, let them go and punish the citizens. How do we think, Seth? You arrest and punish citizens, but rather let go foreigners. How can you tell us there's no facilities to accommodate foreign criminals? Are they better than those in Nsawam? And Kobe says that this man, according to you and the journalist, in the last 5 months, the Galamsey situation has worsened. And he's asking a question on that. Derek Haiti says, good morning. Okay, this one also says, good morning. And I think there are a few ones that came from Master Plan as well. that year the NDC communicator say we don't have the infrastructure to jail foreign nationals involved in Galamsey. Has he forgotten how they criticized President Anado's government for deporting foreign nationals? What has changed is that he now wants them to be deported. Please give him 10 lashes before he leaves the studio. He should respect Ghanaians for one. Okay. On that light note, please do in the 30 seconds for me. You were good at 30 seconds because I don't have time. I don't have time at all. I don't have at all. Yeah.
Well, like we were saying, that the fight against Galamsey is supposed to be a collective fight. It should be a national fight. And I sincerely don't know what exactly it takes to at least trigger a state of emergency. Because triggering a state of emergency only tells us that you have actually prioritized the issue and we are willing to combat it front, across board. Anything other than that and legislation and all this thing, it will not end us anywhere. But then again, the last point is that as of now, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, is enjoying the goodwill of the people.
Yes,
the people really believe in him. They think that he's supposed to be the Messiah. He's supposed to be the one to bring about a radical transformation that we are expecting. So we are appealing to him. Nobody is faulting him. He cannot sit at the Jubilee House and obviously micromanage everything that goes around the entire country. We wish him well, but then again, it should not jeopardize the future of this country at the expense of international relations. That maybe China give you some small chicken change and Burkina is giving you rice and sugar. No, Burkina don't give us sugar. They are giving us rice, they are giving us cereal, they are giving us all tomatoes and all these things. Don't say because of international relationship you want to maintain, you are not ready to punish their foreign citizens when they come here and destroy our water bodies. And then the last point is that let us, as a matter of fact, bring in the clergy. Education is the only way that we can also approach this fight. Educating the people to understand that whatever they are doing is going to destroy the future of this country. And 15 years down the line, I just wonder, I can't just fathom how Ghana will be 20 years down the line if you are not able to fight Galamsey.
Okay, very well. Thank you very much. And I'm grateful to Dennis Apialadi Ampufu for joining us this morning here on the show. He's a communication team member for the NPP. And Richard Senyo Sumaha also joined us this morning. He's a leading member for the Movement for Change.
Let's break the duopoly. Is our problem. Yeah, problem.
We'll get there. Abdulai Sakra Al-Hassan also joined us this morning. He's an NDC communication team member. And unfortunately, we can't give him 10 lashes like you guys want us to do. But of course, I'm grateful.
We will do it backstage.
for your time this morning. And thanks to you buy lunch. Send us your messages as well. We're grateful to Franco Trading Enterprise for also making this conversation possible. You can go and grab your Franco Trading phone, your television, your refrigerator, air condition. Once you walk in there, very affordable but quality. And that's what Franco Trading Enterprise is giving you. Call us on the numbers you can see on your screens and do business with us. And let me say a special morning going out to you, Madam Catherine Afeku, Honorable. And she's also coming in as the National Women Organizer for the NPP. And I'm wishing you the very best. You guys will be having your primaries on the 31st of January 2026. And, well, it's going to be a good run. So let's see what comes up with that as well. A very good morning to you, Honorable Catherine Afeku.